also dabble with this illegal business?
The money was too good lah. Tu duit dah kepung mata kan. So ni benda kira tak ada apa-apa lah.
There's always stigma.
I've never felt someone telling me squarely yang dia gini tak. But tak payahlah meniaga, kerja full time sudah. The only thing that kept me going when I left prison was family lah. Especially my wife lah.
Kita tahu dalam kehidupan ini manusia melakukan kesilapan. Kita tahu bahawasanya perubahan itu perlu dalam hidup ini. Kita juga tahu bahawasanya hidayah itu tak datang kepada semua orang. Dan pada hari ini dalam Keep It Coming kita bersama dengan Khairul yang telah pun menjalani pemulihan, kembali ke landasan yang sebenarnya dan memulakan satu perniagaan yang diberi nama sebagai Bigs by NY.
Bigs by NY. So dari 2016 kita start.
Macam mana tercetusnya perniagaan?
Sebenarnya lepas keluar penjara tu saya dapat kerja dari prison lah. Underscore, I was a dispatch rider untuk kedai motor. They were paying me like $1,000 per month. So for me, I felt that tak cukup lah. Eventually, I made up my mind yang I want to start a business with my wife lah. Hence, started this Bigs by NY lah.
Dalam pemulihan, you tak ada belajar tentang buat kek ke, baking ke?
When I was in prison tu, kira I already think of bila I keluar tu apa nak bikin. So when my wife came to visit me, I told her, I want you to spend time with my kid lah at that point of time. You berhenti your full-time job and then you pick up a skill lah. Eventually, we decided on baking. With that in mind, I was thinking of ini bila keluar, I don't have to waste time to start back and then belajar apa-apa. For myself, I know I can averagely run a good business lah. I feel I have that in me lah. But I know my wife don't have that, but she has the skill in baking or when she learns something. Then I felt it's a good combination lah.
So she agreed dia kena berhenti kerja full time sebagai staff nurse. She agrees that he will take care of your child. She agree of taking new skill so that bila you keluar daripada pemulihan tu, then you have the business running.
Yeah.
Now, let's go a step back or 2 steps back.
I smuggled cigarette lah dari overseas masuk Singapore.
Was the business lucrative enough that makes you really want to do it?
I'm not gonna deny but the life was good lah. Kira duit banyak, boleh enjoy. Teman pun banyak. Baik teman lelaki, baik teman perempuan.
Everybody comes to you macam semut lah.
Ya, yang tak diundang pun datang. Ya.
Ada members.
Hari-hari tiup pun cair juga. So I eventually
fell for it lah.
Yeah, I fell into it lah.
You know, you are somebody who understands the law pretty well. And yet you also dabble with this illegal business. Don't you see that at the end of the journey that you might fall?
I was hoping not. I was hoping I can make enough money within 2-3 years. Dah cukup duit, keluar. But it was not how we wanted it to be lah. Yeah.
How did you fall? You're not alone, right?
Yeah, about 6 or 7 of us kena tangkap sekali. Yeah. It was the whole group kena.
For someone who understands a little bit about the law, right? You know which route to go, which to avoid, but you also know that once you hit the wall, you will be done for. Do you see that coming? Like, oh, my time has come. Mesti kena punya.
Because prior to us getting arrested, myself, my friends already cakap yang macam rasa kena ikut lah. But the money was too good lah. Tu duit dah kepung mata kan. So ni benda kira tak ada apa-apa lah.
The moment you get arrested, everybody got disbanded.
So called lah. But when we were in prison, we jumpa balik.
Are you guys still friends?
Yes. Ada some totally lost contact lah. Tapi ada 1 or 2 still kawan sekarang.
Until now?
Until sekarang. Tapi kalau terserempak means kawan lah. Tapi kita tak get in touch.
Kita kawan 5 minit, kawan 10 minit lah.
Hi bye gitu lah. Tak ada macam plan out to meet ke apa, tak ada.
Ada just business partner lah. Once the business fell out, then no more friends.
So called lah. Because they are my childhood friends lah. So there are common things to talk about if we meet. But it's been a while lah since we last met.
Who are your friends now?
I have my working colleagues. My saudara all are my friends lah now. If anything we need, I just call them lah. Then I have a friend who is about taxi. So he's always on and off. He comes to the shop, talk to me. That's about it lah.
While in prison, dalam pemulihan tu, was there a blaming punya session?
The early stages, yes. Until we managed to clarify to them what actually happened, clear the air lah.
Do you think you get arrested sebab ada yang khianat?
If you ask me, I feel sebab kita tak careful lah. But I don't know what's the real reason.
Too powerful to believe that you'll be arrested.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Dah terlalu hayal lah.
Was the money really, really, really good?
I don't have the exact numbers lah, but at that point of time, if let's say I decided to, okay, kita nak pergi holiday Dubai ke apa, then we just book on the spot, then we just go.
Selalu kocek terus keluar duit lah.
Yeah, but it was short-lived lah.
Ya, nikmat yang sementara ni.
Yeah.
Dan sebut tentang nikmat yang sementara ni, kita tahu bahawasanya hidayah tu tak datang kepada semua orang. Ramai masuk pada pusat pemilihan ataupun masuk dalam tahanan, dan bila keluar, orang bentan. Tapi hidayah tu datang pada orang yang terpilih saja. Jadi bila awak keluar, you become a changed man. In fact, you change while you were in there, right? Now, what changed you? Was there a point of time di mana sudahlah, it's time to move on?
Bila my wife, my mother and my sister came to visit me, I don't think it's the first visit lah. It's one of the first few visits lah. Before that, I was still macam nak bikin lagi ni. Tak puas hati kan.
While you were inside there?
Yeah, the early days, I was inside thinking macam, ni keluar, I want to do something bigger than this lah.
Menggeram lah.
Ya, geram. Tak puas lah kira. But when they came to visit, then we got talking, then I came to my senses yang takkan nak masuk lagi dua kali.
What did the wife say? What did your mother say that makes you like, okay lah, takkan aku nak buat lagi ni? Ada tak the triggering words?
For my wife, kita berbual facts, kita berbual rationally lah. So we got talking like, so ni sekarang ni tak tahu ni duduk berapa lama ni. Nak tunggu ke atau you want to make an exit ke apa ke. She didn't even tell me she want time to think about it. On the spot, then she just tell me she will stay on lah with me.
She made that pledge. She made that promise.
During the face-to-face visit.
From what I find out, most of the inmates, right, bila diorang masuk penjara je kan, they are all, dia kata, I'm waiting for my wife to send me the lawyer's letter for separation. I hope not, but I received the letters. This is not one, two, there's so many from the experience. But your wife pledged that I want to stay in the marriage.
Yeah, I also wonder why, kenapa. Because
is it not because you're a good person deep inside? Have you ever thought?
Maybe she sees that in me, but I don't see that in myself.
You don't see that you're a good person?
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah.
Only a good person will come here today, no? Now, bagi saya lah, sebagai seorang manusia juga, kalau saya bukan orang baik-baik, I don't think people can see that. But deep down, I think you have done so much kindness to her that I think she saw that nobody can. True.
Kalau in financial terms, yes lah. As long as I can afford it, if they want it, I try to provide lah. Yeah. For myself, no lah. But for them, yes. For the family.
Was the fact that she said that she will stick with you through all this changed you?
Yeah, of course. I feel the only thing that kept me going when I left prison was family. Especially my wife lah.
What about your mom? Do you think that you are here today being as successful as one can be because of your mom's prayers for you?
Itu 110%. 110% lah. Because anybody can leave me lah, but I think my mother exception lah. I think that didn't cross her mind to halau ke apa ke. I think never lah in my lifetime. I've gotten into so many troubles before. Never.
Do you expect that your mother to be harsh on you? Do you expect otherwise?
Growing up, I know my mother is no nonsense punya. Tapi at the end of it, kita tahu macam mana pun ni anak dia.
Aren't you not surprised that people around you are very forgiving?
I do wonder, but I never ask lah.
Have you ever thought about the good deeds that you have done to other people? Is there any good deeds that you can remember you have done to other people? If there's one kebaikan yang you ada ni, do you know what would that be?
I provide for my family. Yeah, so I'm just a phone call away. Especially family lah.
Family as in your own family or your siblings, your mom, your dad?
Actually, my family ni kita besar. Not only my mom atau in-laws, tapi kita ada extended family, saudara. If I am healthy, if I have the money, if they need help, I will sure don't think twice one.
There was never a time that you tolak orang punya permintaan susah. Walaupun you tengah nakal, walaupun you tengah loaded, walaupun you tengah susah.
Never. Maybe I got reject before, but it's a very like over 10 times maybe once, but the 9 times I will be there lah.
Do you
Family
think
lah.
that is the reason why you are here until today?
Yeah. Family lah, because when I started off the business pun tak ada orang luar. Yang orang-orang ni juga come and help me. Sometimes tak minta bayaran pun. Kerja gila kerja pagi sampai malam, tapi they never ask for payment. Diorang tak minta gaji.
Bila kita keluar daripada tahanan ataupun penjara ni, what kind of stigma that you have? Do you receive all these notions? Laki kau dia baru keluar jail lah. Boleh ke percaya?
I've never felt someone telling me squarely yang dia gini tak. But tempias dia indirectly ada rasa. Tak payahlah meniaga, kerja full time sudah. If you read between the lines, we know what they are trying to tell us. But we just brush it off.
Does it hurt?
Hurt lah. But I want to achieve, I know what I want to achieve. So I consider this insignificant lah. Tak beratkan saya.
When you keluar, when you niaga, you kata family yang tolong. So I understand that mothers will always be as kind to the child. Now let's talk about your in-laws. Your in-laws supported you all the way.
They gave us a shelter. I didn't have a house. I was supposed to get my house in 2016.
I see.
Tapi I was inside. So my late father dengan my father-in-law, when they came to visit lah, they say just give away lah. How's my wife going to ever pay for the house monthly kan? So we didn't have a house for the good 3 years.
You felt bad for her?
For my wife? Yeah. Because kita daripada zaman Matai, kita dah apply. Then kita tunang. Matai, tunang, kahwin, ada anak. The next thing is rumah apa. Tapi rumah sekarang ni kena tarik ni. So I had to stay with my in-law for a very long period of time. There was about 11 of us in that house. So my adik ipar 2, suami dia, arwah nenek, then my in-laws 2.
Did anyone at any one point of the time between the 11 of you treat you any differently?
Diorang sama macam my own saudara. Macam tolong habis-habisan. Tak ada setengah-setengah masak, tak ada macam nak tak nak. When they help us, they help us all the way.
When you want to start the business, which means you are starting from fumes.
Correct.
Siapa yang kasih you the modal, that initial kick off for you to run the business?
My in-laws bought for my wife oven. When we came out, I think the first 6 months when I was doing the dispatch tu, we were already running yang my wife punya from home lah. So we managed to save up. Then kita buka kedai yang $800 per month punya.
Where? The first shop?
Centroport dekat Geylang. Centroport.
Okay. So the first business was tough?
Very tough. My wife did the preparation. Our family, as and when kita boleh tolong, kita tolong. I do the delivery. I do the social media. I do the business aspect of it lah.
Was it tough hustling?
Very because we didn't get sufficient sleep. My wife used to work like wake up at 5 a.m. sampai malam because we did things differently that time. Kita hari tu orang nak, hari tu kita hantar. You don't have to pre-order. So when it was picking up, it was like really tiring.
Kalau kita cakap tentang rumah tangga kan, husband and wife, husband keluar kerja tempat lain, isteri kerja keluar tempat lain, you don't meet and work together. But when you work together, was there conflict?
Dia bukan konflik tau, because my wife dia tak melawan. So the barking all comes from me. See, she is very patient. I'm just fortunate.
I so want to be fortunate. Okay. What are the biggest challenges doing the business? Did people look at you with prejudice tak?
Alhamdulillah, orang Melayu kita supportive. It's
forgiving.
not that they support me because I am an ex-convict. It is in spite of that, diorang lagi support. I think kita ada tu sifat ihsan lah orang Melayu kita. That's one of the fortunate things I encounter.
Do you think that whatever you do before to your cousins and your family and your wife is paying it forward for now? Kebaikan dibalas dengan kebaikan.
It's vice versa lah. Like at that point of time kita pernah bantu. Diorang tak lupa yang kita pernah bantu. Diorang bantu kita balik.
Let's say when you are 50, what would your 50-year-old tell your 37-year-old now?
I think sabar. Because if you want something to, it takes some time for it to materialize. Memang dah adat dia is kena rempuh kesusahan dulu. Baru dapat nikmat dia punya sukses lah.
They say every time they want to tingkatkan martabat seorang manusia tu, they have to go through ujian dan ujian. Do you think that your test has ended?
No. It's always in progress. So I feel that the first years of my trials too, is to bring me where I am today. But if we want to reach the other level, I believe kita akan diuji another set of ujian.
Do you think you are ready for the next level?
I think the first few years tu dah harden me, but it can come in a different form. I don't know whether I can endure it, but I will try my best lah.
We are not encouraged to live with regrets. But are there any regrets in your life now at this juncture? Apa yang you macam kesal sangat?
Very early on, I wanted to meniaga tau, in my
I
teens.
see.
I just wish I did the right thing first. When I did this cigarette pun is a form of rebellion to my mother juga, because she didn't allow me to meniaga.
I see.
So langgar, that time I langgar.
Okay.
So yeah, I wish I had started off on the right foot lah, rather than doing the illegal thing.
That's what you said lah. But I think all our journey are all designed by God, right?
Yeah.
Now, which is the better Khairul? Before or after pemulihan?
Now it's much better lah, because last time I had no patience. I want everything quick. Sekarang pun sama, but there's a bit of sensibility kat situ. I still give people space and time to get things done.
When we talk about Khairul yang dulu kan, banyak benda yang dirahsiakan dari isteri. How important being truthful is now?
Because she is director juga of the company. Everything that happens in the company, she has to know juga. But that was not always the case. I tell her the good stuff, but benda yang berat punya 80% of it kita telan sendiri. It comes naturally lah. So you tell her the good stuff, how much sales we make. Sometimes staff ada kasih problem, gedebak-gedebuk gini, ada cerita. But we never burden her with macam mana nak solve apa nak bikin next, saya tak ada.
Do you see yourself as ever more successful now than you ever before doing the cigarette business?
Certainly, yeah. I hope to be more successful from where I was.
Where is the business 5 years from now? What's your plan?
My dream is to buka overseas lah. But kita nak solidify kita punya footing kat sini dulu.
Lagi 5 years, 3 years from now, lagi berapa kedai?
Minimum maybe every corner of Singapore ada lah.
For those who tried to change but can't change, what are the things you want to share with them? Ada orang dia nak try tau, but I think they do not have that positive environment, they do not have that moral support. How do you want to encourage them to not give up?
The way I think of it, you can have all the positive vibe around you, the positive encouragement, but kalau ni orang tak nak, tak jadi juga. If the individual yang nak buat ni tak make the first move atau tak keluar daripada dia punya comfort zone ni, tak boleh jadi juga. Even if you are surrounded by negative people, I feel, if you want, I believe you can still do it. Cuma tak boleh cakap nak bikin terus jadi lah. You have to belajar, you have to gain knowledge. Macam let's say kalau nak meniaga, apa benda kita perlu untuk meniaga. The basic stuff, but you must start somewhere.
No one can stand alone. You are here because of your family and your wife's support. If your mother is listening, what do you want to tell her now?
Oh, ibu. I want to thank her for the semua lah yang dia buatkan untuk kita in the past. And I just wish Allah Ta'ala tu panjangkan umur dia.
Amin.
So kita boleh balas balik jasa dia lah.
Do you think whatever you are doing right now for your mother or for your wife will ever be enough for what you have done?
Never. I think whatever I go through is nothing compared to what they went through. Malu, tak ada duit, but I'm inside there comfortably, makan cukup, tidur cukup.
Did she ever share with you her struggles tak? Susah dia macam mana? Pernah tak dia kena herdik?
I think she's well protected by my mother and her my in-laws.
Yeah. Did she ever tell you about her biggest pain?
Never. She's not the type to talk a lot with me. I got ask her, how you keep yourself macam gini? Like compose herself, never get marah with me, all this. Then she say her mindset is simple. Dia rasa macam orang kalau bikin dia, orang tu akan dapat balik, tapi tak payah tangan dia. She has full confidence in the protection yang Allah tu kasih dia lah.
Among all of the person who have supported you, your wife has been the number one person who has been there for you. And you did tell me that you are the luckiest person. If you ever want to record your thank you to her, apa yang nak cakap dengan dia?
No, I just want to thank her for always believing in what I wanted to do. Like she could have said no at any point of time. Like I said to any other people, I say if I would have had another different wife, I could not have done what I've done. Because dia tolong bukan setakat duduk, just support mentally je tau. She put her heart and soul physically. And she's under a lot of pressure tau, because I pressure her a lot to get things done. So I'm really thankful lah yang she's always patient with me. all this while. Like the early days kita tak ada duit. That time pun dah masih jambu apa. Bukan that time lah, sekarang pun masih jambu lah. But I think
Be careful lah. Nanti tak makan nanti 6 bulan kan.
I think kalau some better to do guy if were to come along, I think she could have just, and nobody will blame her, you see. But she stuck through it lah until today.
Bukan satu kemaafan yang you nak cakap dengan dia ni?
At one point of time tu, I could not bring home the money or the comfort that a proper family should have lah. Like a shelter. You see, when I came out from prison I was already 30 I think. Our friends semua dah pindah tau. Dah ada BTO, dah ada rumah sendiri. Then when you come visiting for Hari Raya, they are at their own houses. It's like, then when they come visit to us, our home, kita kat rumah in-law kita with one room, kita punya bilik. Sebab juga nasib bini aku macam gini So
Kesal tak time?
Kesal That's why I work like really hard to give her something better.
You did say that all these businesses that you are hustling for, that you're working very hard for, is just for her.
Yeah.
What's in there for you?
For me, personally, I like the life. Not so much into the money stuff. Of course duit kita perlu. But on and off, I do pamper myself. But the bulk of it is always for her.
What's your doa for you? What do you hope for you in the long run?
I also pray for myself panjang umur so I can finish what I started. I don't want benda ni tergantung setengah jalan and nobody knows how to finish it off. See,
what's the ending point then?
Achieve what I want to achieve for my family. Like let's say get them a comfortable house. Dah tak payah tak nak cakap tak payah fikir pasal duit, but money is not the priority lah. Okay. And also the people yang depend on me sekarang, like my staff, my family, that depend their livelihood on me. Diorang comfortable, then I feel I'm there lah.
You think that can be done under your capacity now?
Mesti kena. No matter how pun I will achieve it lah.
Do you think God has been kind to you?
I think God has been very forgiving to me. Gave me second chance after chance after chance. Even in this business, we make some wrong move, He still give me another chance to start anew. Kita buat salah benda, dia kasih kita jalan lain.
Do you think that you are an inspiration for the rest to be better?
But if you look at what we are doing, I feel that we are not doing anything new. Ada orang sakit pun manage to punch through and succeed. Ada orang handicap ke, diorang still manage to punch through. So I feel anybody also can do it lah if they want to.
No, in spite of everything, still humble. And I think being as successful as the person that you are now, I think there's a lot of factors that keep you grounded. Something which I personally learned from you. Second chances are not to be wasted. I also learned the fact that kindness should start from way before you even start to understand about life. Being kind is very important, and be there for the family. Here in Keep It Coming, kita doakan agar you will always be successful. And I would like to thank you for being here. I'd like to thank you for being as honest as you can be. And let me turn around, camera. We'd like to thank the wifey for being here. And thank you for being inspiring, really. I've heard so many stories about good wives. I rarely hear stories about very forgiving wives. May you stay until Jannah, inshallah. Thank you so much. That's the end for Keep It Coming with Khairul Anwar.